Welcome to the first of my weekly videos, which, to be completely honest with you, are going to be for me to keep on track in 2026. The first few are going to be absolute dog shit because I have not prepared anything for them. I purposely make the Come Collect Eggs with Me family friendly. These aren't going to be family friendly, these are going to be my raw, unfiltered thoughts, so they should be okay though. Occasionally I will swear. That's the only thing. I'm not going to talk about explicit content. I want to start breaking down what we're actually doing here, and I've talked about it at a very low depth in the TikTok videos to share a bit more detail. TikTok's not really the place for it, or at least the content that I produce. Come Collect Eggs with Me videos, which I release once a day or have for the last couple of months, work very well for me for just driving interest within the community that we developed, and people really enjoy watching them every day. I definitely peaked probably February last year in terms of interaction on those videos, and it's sort of stagnated. It hasn't got worse. Maybe it has got worse. We were doing like 40k views a day minimum, up to like our most was like 600,000. Now we sort of get, well, to be fair, when we left for Christmas we were at sort of 25,000 views a day, which is not to be sniffed at, I must admit, and something that I'm not very good at is like taking it step by step and realising that, you know, almost like a guaranteed 10,000 views a day is pretty good. Like it's nothing to be sniffed at. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of headspace, I will say, although the advantage of those Come Collect Eggs with Me videos is that they take the least amount of headspace and effort in terms of, I just go and film myself collecting eggs, I share it, come in. I've now got the editing down to probably 40 minutes max. Especially I use CapCut, and you can work that works real fast these days. Like all of the captions are automatically generated. I'm pretty quick at the cutting. I try not to cut too much, but at the end of the day I'm posting 6, 7, 8, 9-minute videos onto TikTok, which isn't really the platform for those sort of long videos. So I need to get a bit shorter. That being said, my social media presence has actually been perfect for me. We haven't gone viral, although I would say we haven't gone viral, but actually I've literally just said that we got one of the videos got 600,000 views. In my head, for some reason, that's not viral, but I guess it probably is in some metrics. But one of the reasons I'm not a massive fan of the idea of going viral is that not everyone will get this straight away on one video, and a lot of the people that comment and watch every day have seen over the last year and a half. They've seen this journey and they're really bought in. They understand what I'm doing here. They know that we're all just trying our best. What I see on viral videos, and it's viral, it's just the negativity in those spaces. And the reason videos go viral is normally, like number one reason I've seen that videos go viral is normally there is an opportunity for people in the comments to correct you. Whether that is you've done something wrong, whether they don't believe in your views, whether they don't agree with you, whether it's a spelling mistake. Any opportunity to jump on the bandwagon of taking you down, of this person or whoever this human is, and it's not happened to me, and I'm incredibly fortunate to have had a really positive experience on TikTok particularly. But I've just seen it, it's just, going viral is not what I'm interested in. Building a following of people that are really interested in what I'm trying to do is my goal. So one of the reasons I want to move a bit more over to YouTube as well, just so it makes this a bit more pull factor, because TikTok is very much push, and you can't really pull what you want to watch every day, whereas YouTube, I feel like it is a bit more pull. But these videos are going to focus on three things, which are how I splinter my life into three pieces of the pie, and they take varying amounts of energy from me. Those three pieces are the animals and building the farm here, building a customer base, looking after animals and making sure that they're taken care of, which is always my priority, and it's one of the reasons why I often talk about trying to get someone, being able to afford to hire someone, because for me right now there's a bit that I cannot leverage in any way. That if the animals need looking after, like today, it's been -4 today, it's the 4th of January, it's -4 today for most of the day. I've spent the entire day sorting out water to animals and trying to get it prepared for the next couple of days, which is going to be freezing for the next 2 days. That's taken an entire day away from the projects that I've got outside or in here trying to develop the system. That's number one, and that is and it is a non-negotiable pretty much, so that one always stays the same. I then have the second one is social media, and that is filming, editing, creating videos. I have kind of been running that on autopilot to be completely honest with you. With the Come Collect Eggs with Me videos, I can film them once a day, 5 days a week, and I know what I'm doing, and I get a pretty reasonable interaction. And for me, like I say, reasonable, anywhere from 10 to 20, 25,000 views, load of comments, and there's always this amazing back and forth in the chat, which I love. So I really enjoy doing that, but it has been a bit, I haven't done anything created in that space, and it's definitely a weakness of mine, is trying to develop, is trying to be creative and trying to think of cool videos that I can do. We've got incredible things here on the farm, and I'm just not very creative in like, hey, let's show people this or that, and I need to figure that out and sort it out. And number 3 is developing the platform and developing the technology that is the reason I'm here. It's the reason why I quit my job was not to start a farm. The reason I quit my job is to revolutionize how we farm and how we produce food on a local basis. And when I say on a local basis, I mean interacting with one another, building communities, building cooperatives, and being able to produce food and building food security on like a really granular level. The tagline that I often talk to people about is I want decentralized production but centralized supply. So if you're a shop, even if just a consumer, I want to take away the effort, the onus of you having to track down local producers, and I want to put it onto the system, and so that if a producer can then serve markets easily and serve multiple different markets in a single outlet, and be able to decentralize them to allow them to do what they're doing, but easily join cooperatives, and so reducing wasted energy, increasing economies of scale in smaller farms which have notoriously and historically not had them. I really believe in this. It's something that I've been thinking about non-stop pretty much for the last 3-4 years. I've been experiencing it, I've been living it for the last year and a half in doing what I'm doing. We kind of run like a similar version. I run a dumbed down version on Shopify, but that is the thing that I really want to get going. That is what I will change. That's what will change my life. The farm, if I succeed what I do with the farm, I will live a very comfortable life here. I adore the life with the animals. It has been incredibly difficult, and 2025 I will say is the hardest year of my entire life for a whole host of reasons, which I don't know if I'll have time to talk to you about before my battery runs out, but if I don't, I'll share in many videos coming up. But I absolutely adore my life, but the software thing is what I believe I'm put on this earth to achieve. I'm not actually a religious man. I come from a religious family. I understand Christianity in great depth, but I don't believe in a higher purpose. However, I know my purpose is to do this and to give it a go. If I don't succeed, then I've given it a go. But this is what I'm on earth to do, and I'm incredibly determined to do it. In hindsight, I'm not sure this was the best way. Quit my job, going from 85 grand to nothing, with a reasonable amount of savings, but I was living in London, so not as much savings as I'd like. Building a small farm, which is already hard work, and then also trying to build a platform. I did computer science as an undergrad. I'm not an expert. I have now been leveraging particularly Claude and Codex, and actually just using Copilot to leverage whichever the most prevalent LLM is at the moment, or AI if people aren't familiar. It's effectively a step up from, I'd like to think, a step up from vibe coding. I understand the architecture. I worked with an old friend at my previous job who helped me set up like the original architecture, and then I've stuck to those principles. I work with it. I used to be a product manager in my previous job, which is a software product manager, which effectively you decide what the product needs, what you need to build, and then you go off and discuss it with engineers, and together you design the best solution. I still do that job day to day. I just do it with an AI LLM. I do it with an agent, which is very cool, but does mean some of it's going to be shit, because I don't know it's any better, and the LLM just tells you what it thinks, but also what you think, what you want to hear. So that's been good that we've had that initial architecture trigger from my friend, whose opinion I respect greatly. I like to think I run a test first development, which a lot of people talk about doing. It's not really test first, test driven development. I think it's called TDD, test driven architecture. I don't know, I can't remember the lingo these days, but that's what I want to do. So it's not really test driven. I don't build the tests first, but everything I do, I don't move on until I've got a green run of tests, which does help with LLMs. I have discovered them occasionally writing their own tests and then just sort of passing themselves for functionality that doesn't actually work how we set it out. So what we do is I run basically a user story interview with the LLM. We write down everything that we need for a particular feature. We then put that into a feature request effectively, a list of requirements, and testing approach. We stick that all in a document. We host it in the Git, which is GitHub if anyone's not familiar. I then add that feature request to Git. I then get either the same LLM or another LLM to then work through that feature request and do the work. I then supervise it as it does it, and so far so good. Effectively, I've built an e-commerce platform for now, sort of like a dumbed down version of Shopify, which is where I wanted to start, so that's good. My target is middle of January. I've got a farmer out in Finland who approached me a few months ago, who is doing effectively almost identical to what I'm doing here, but a lot more, to be honest with you, he's got his shit together a lot more than I have, a lot more structured approach. But he's doing chickens, or they're starting with chickens first, I think, in a subscription model, and they're going to be doing that in Finland. So they've got the whole they've got their own challenges just being in Finland and existing in Finland, and it was actually interesting listening to him, the nuances of a Finnish customer and how they shop and stuff. But they're starting in March, taking orders in March, and so they are my first proper customer for the platform, which is incredibly exciting. I'll have other customers, so once I'm going to be my first customer here, and I'll be running what I do every day here, then I will be putting the merchants that I use, so the butcher, the baker. I haven't found a candlestick maker. There's another meat supplier in the area as well. I'll be getting all of them on. My goal for the year, 2026, is to get 40 merchants on the platform. And so 40 people selling through the platform. But if I manage to win all of them, we're up to 5 already before the end of Feb, hopefully. But I've got to win them all. And I've got to make this not shit. Basics are there. I can create orders. I can split orders between merchants, which is the thing that effectively how it works is we are going to be, the platform itself runs below marketplaces, and then people can set up and build marketplaces, or they can build shops or whatever they want to do. It allows people that do not have a farm to interact with the space, and they can set up their own shops. It allows people like a restaurant to access all of the local producers in their area and further afield. It allows a single merchant to be able to upload a product and sell it to all of those different places at once in a single workflow. I'm really excited about it. I'm not afraid telling you about it because lots of people are trying to do it right now, but it's all about the execution. So software now, the value of good software now has diminished greatly because of AI and the speed of development. So the value now is winning market share. So I'm going to be upfront with what I'm building and how I'm doing it, because if someone else achieves this, then the goal is still the same. Like, I want people to be able to produce food in a local area on a local basis. If I can achieve it, it's great. I can make lots of money and also achieve my goal. If someone else does it, I would be really pissed off, but it's still the same end means. So like the goal of what we're trying to do here is the same. I will join that platform, I'll run the farm through it if someone else beats me. But to be honest with you, I can't imagine this video is going to get more than 100 or so views, and so I don't mind sharing that with you, and it's also helping me. It's just I've got to start talking this through with other people to get my head around it, and also I want you guys to be a part of this. I want feedback as we go. If I don't share anything as we go, then you won't be able to give me feedback as we go. On the farm this week, we brought the girls back home, the mothers that we've weaned the calves off about 6 weeks ago. They're all back home. We've got a massive herd now of 14 cows over here. We're now feeding them exclusively on hay, which takes a lot of effort and time and energy, but they seem to be okay. The mothers didn't get into as good condition as I'd like them to be, but they are looking better than they did last winter. And they will be lambing. There will be calving later in the year as well, so it will give us a bit of a chance to get them some spring grass. The big project for next year, oh god, it's this year. The big project for this year is getting pastures into quality pastures, seeding, rotational grazing, etc., managing grazing. That's all what the next few months holds. And Dad and I are going to be working quite closely together on that. He does a lot of the tractor work. He enjoys a lot of the tractor work. I've just got to make sure that we get the balance right of what that looks like, and make sure we've always got enough grazing whilst we cultivate and reseed areas. We just started feeding the calves as well. We've weaned the calves. They're living in a field next door as well. We've just started feeding them hay because they're shouting at me every morning. But that they've eaten all my nice grass that we grew over the last few months. It's just a sacrifice that we had to make. We don't have any more grazing near home at the moment. So they ate all my lovely grass, but that was really just a test to see what we can do, and that worked really well. So we'll be doing herbal lay as far and as wide as we can in the spring. We finally moved L2. So we did it in the dark whilst they were all on their perches, which actually worked surprisingly well. They're laying really well. We got 28 eggs out of them 2 days ago. So they're almost breaking that 130 barrier. I should start doing come collect eggs with me again, but I'm quite enjoying the break, if I'm honest. But it's like, not only do I love sharing it with the community and I love that interaction on a day-to-day basis, it's also good for like 150 quid a month, like kind of average 100 to 150 quid a month, which is better than kicking the teeth. So I need a way, and that's one of the reasons I want to do YouTube again, is if I can produce longer form videos, I can start telling the tale whilst also making a bit of money. That would be ideal. I need like 1,000 subscribers and I'm on 800 something, so we're not too far off. I can't imagine this video is going to be the one that's going to win subscribers, but we're going to start somewhere. It is incredibly cold, like I spoke about earlier. -4 today, -3 tomorrow, -5 the following day. So it is going to be cold. Main problem is water. Everything freezes. Trying to get water to all the birds every day is the priority. And it just makes work. It just makes more work every day. So, but that's fine. It's part of the winter. But I spent today getting ready for that. Hopefully that'll reduce the work on a day-to-day basis. We've got eggs coming out my ears. I've got nearly 200 eggs a day. L1 have actually stopped laying very well. They're not laying terribly. They're less than 60 eggs a day, which is less than 50% production, which is wild. I'm going to start offering a collection point, which is another reason why I need to start doing the come collect eggs with me videos, just tell people about it. Is I want to do a collection point nearby. I'm very secretive about our location here just because this is our family home and I don't want people turning up at the door, but I want to do a local pickup point for eggs, for allowing people in the local-ish area in sort of Cambridgeshire, Essex, if they're interested, to come and buy some eggs. And so the butcher that I work with has said he's happy for me to do that, so we'll do that as well. I'd like to do it on my platform, so I just need to pull my finger out and get that done. It's 4th of January today. Sales day is on Tuesday. I'm going to have loads of eggs left over. I've sold a load to the village over Christmas and New Year, which worked really well. I just got eggs coming out my ears. Not the end of the world. Worst comes to worst, we just feed them back to the chickens. They love them. But it's just money sat on the table. So yeah, that is it. Completely unstructured, ramblings as usual. I'm going to try and do better on that. I think the format of this as going forward is I will talk through the three levers as we go. So it will always be what's happening on the farm, what's happening on social media, and what is happening with the platform. The platform is my priority goal. The farm is always my priority, and I can't really escape from that until I can make enough money to hire somebody. But the platform is what changes everything. So I've got to make progress, especially if I start uploading freaking videos talking about it. So, if you're still watching this, what are you doing here? I appreciate you. I'm excited. This 2026 is going to be the year that we sink or swim. I'm trying to look for some sort of flying analogy. Soar or dive, I don't know. But sink or swim is probably the most accurate. I've made it pretty clear. I've given myself this year. If I haven't seen traction in 2026, then I will be moving on. I don't know what I'll do if I'm not doing this. So that's why I've got to make it stick. So, let's get it done. I'm going to try and do these every Sunday. I appreciate you if you're still here. Even if you're not still here, I appreciated you watching earlier, but you're not going to hear me telling you that. Once the platform's up and running, I'll give you a demo of that as well. Hopefully we can grab some people that are interested and might want to test that with me as well. And if you're interested in being on the platform or got ideas on the platform, do drop me a message. Very interested to hear from everyone and everyone. But otherwise, I shall see you on the next one.